I hope that we're all correct in our assessment that Steve Cohen is going to come in and just start spending money, because that is what this team needs. And it starts with your homegrown guys, because what we're seeing from Michael Conforto right now, I know it's hard to draw conclusions from 60-game seasons, Moose, but this is what you were hoping Conforto was going to be
he's
all
my guy.
the time.
Yeah, I said it before the start of the year. For Key, I wanted to see Conforto play up to his ability and put a dominant season together. I love him. I've said it time and time again. I think he's the best all-around player on this Mets team. I think he's hitting for a high average. We're seeing that. The power's there. He's a gamer. He can play multiple positions in the outfield. He had an amazing catch out there in right field. Michael Conforto is a foundational piece.
And Moose, I think it's important. We don't know what the real spending habits are going to be of Steve Cohen right out of the bat if he is indeed the guy who buys the Mets, right? We think he's going to spread a lot of money around because the urgency is there, because Jacob deGrom is 32 years old and you want to capitalize on the extension the previous ownership gave to Jacob deGrom and Brodie Van Wagenen gave to deGrom. So the urgency is there. And quite frankly, this core of a team for the Mets is incredibly exciting. Now, it hasn't translated to more wins this year, and that's partly because the starting rotation has been so bad. But this is the core. And if Steve Cohen is going to buy this team and he is going to make an investment, the first thing you need to do is get in with Michael Conforto's agent, Scott Boras, and start talking to him about a contract extension. Because, first of all, Conforto is that guy. He has been your most consistent player this year. And considering how good of a season Dom Smith has had, McNeil and Alonso have both been hitting lately, Conforto has been that guy for you. Moose, he has started all but 4 games in right field. He has been on base in an incredible clip. He's going to be top 10 in MVP conversation. He's going to be getting votes there. You're seeing the ascent of Michael Conforto. You want him as part of your core moving forward. And also, you got to send a message to the rest of the young guys on this team, which is if you perform and you live up to your expectations, you will get paid here. That has got to be something that goes through that clubhouse and that they understand, hey, I'm going to be here for a long time and I'm going to get paid, because the core of this team is actually so promising. They owe it to themselves to stick with this group that for the most part they have developed.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I love the player. I really do, and I don't know. I mean, I was of the mindset that Steve Cohen was going to step in and spend a lot of money. We had David Faber on from CNBC, and he said he's also going to look at it practically, too. He doesn't like losing money. So the Mets have been a losing proposition, and you have to see what the business model is going to be for baseball. One, hopefully that deal gets finalized at some point in November when the owners meet up after the paperwork is finalized between the two sides, the Wilpon Saul Katz and Steve Cohen. Yeah, Maggie, I don't know if Cohen's going to come in initially and basically be running around like Richard Pryor and Brewster's Millions. I don't know if that's going to be the case. I really don't. Handing out money. I agree with you about Conforto. Conforto's also a Boras client. So, Boras likes to get as much money as he possibly can for his clients and likes to play hardball. We know he was a major, major voice on the Players Association side during negotiations between the owners and the players as they were trying to get baseball going here. So you won't find a bigger Conforto fan than me here in New York. I've loved him. I loved him when I first saw him in college. I loved him when the Mets drafted him. I loved him when he first got called up. I was pleading for the Mets to finally call him up in 2015 when that lineup was basically gasping for air and they needed a little bit of a jolt, and they brought Conforto up and they made the trade, obviously, for Yoenis Cespedes, and the rest is history. They marched on to the World Series, where they eventually lost to the Kansas City Royals. So it's great to see Michael putting the kind of year that he's putting together this year. Now, we know it's only a condensed season, but he's developed into the great all-around player that I thought he could be, and a great all-around hitter, and a clutch hitter, and having moments and making big catches as he did last night. The sky's the limit about how impactful Conforto can be. Yeah, the question is going to be exactly down the line. I think the conversation will change with Cohen as owner. With spending on players. I don't know if it's going to be the case initially, but Conforto certainly is a foundational piece for this Met team that I would have a hard time believing that if this is his ascent into superstardom in Major League Baseball, that Michael Conforto wouldn't be signed to a long-term deal relatively soon.